What's going on, fellow Star Wars nerds? Oh yeah, we're proud of being the nerds that we are, especially with Star Wars The Force Awakens and so many other Star Wars films coming out sooner rather than later. And today I decided to do a special Star Wars video in celebration that, as of this recording, a month from now the movie will be in theaters. So today everybody is rejoicing that we only have a month to go until this magnificent, hopefully masterpiece, is in theaters. So with that being said, I want to let you guys know that, massive spoiler alert, some of these rumors could turn out to be huge points of the film, moments in this entire new trilogy that we're getting, episodes 7, 8, 9. So I want to let you guys know right now, if you don't want to be spoiled in any way, shape, or form, I don't know why you're here in the first place, but spoiler alert, holy shit, you have been warned. So with that being said, I made a list just now of 12 huge rumors that I have heard going around. Now remember, I may have left some out on accident. If I did and there's huge rumors, let me know in the comments below any that I missed, and if so, I'll just make a part 2 and give you guys a shout out in the video. So thank you guys very much for any help that you may supply. Let's get into this. So rumor number 1, this is a big one: Han Solo dies. Now this has pretty much been really the biggest rumor for the most part of this entire rumor mill that's just going crazy right now, especially with the movie now just one short month away. Han Solo dying has been something that people have long speculated about ever since it was confirmed that Han will be returning in this movie. And the reason this comes out so much is because people believe that Harrison Ford wants Han killed off. Now, Harrison Ford did say he wanted Han killed off before, so that's why the whole carbonite thing was made, where he was frozen in carbonite at the end of Empire, and he decided he would come back. He signed on for Return of the Jedi, and they ended up having him survive the carbonation freezing. However, if he didn't want to come back, then they could have easily written him off as dying from being frozen in carbonite. So, so a little trivia for you guys there, if you didn't already know that. So that's a big thing there too. Me personally, I honestly think there is a good chance that Han is going to die. Do I want him to die? Of course not. I mean, who does? Han is one of the most iconic characters of all time, definitely at least in the Star Wars universe. Other than Darth Vader, Han's pretty high up there of who you would recognize, even if you weren't a fan of the movies. So Han, hopefully he doesn't die. Number 2 on the list is Luke is now evil and on the dark side. Now this is one of those rumors that I honestly don't believe as much, for the simple fact that it just really wouldn't make any sense, and it would kind of undo the whole point of the previous 3 movies, you know, episodes 4, 5, and 6, where, you know, Luke fights against the Empire, refuses to turn to the dark side, stays on the light side, stays as a Jedi, refuses to become a Sith, and basically tells the Emperor to shove it up his ass. Where then, you know, he's being tortured to death by the Emperor. Darth Vader redeems himself by saving his son and saying, "You were right about me. Basically, I was a terrible person, and you know, I'm sorry for everything I did, and, you know, tell your sister you were right." Those were the last words of Darth Vader himself. So for Luke to be turned to the dark side in this movie, it would be very weird. I think a lot of people would be very upset about it, and I just don't think it's something that people are really willing to accept if it happens. I think it's going to rub a lot of people the wrong way. It would definitely be shocking. I mean, it would definitely be shocking. People would not see it coming, but it's just one of those where I just don't think it would really make any sense. But maybe they could make it make sense, and if so, then hey, I'm all for it. But do I think that is the case? No, this is one of those rumors that I'm very on the fence about. I don't really believe it. Okay, moving on here. Number 3, Luke is Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren is Luke? So this is one of those really weird ones, and another one that I have absolutely no faith in believing that it's actually going to be turned out to be real, and that is that Kylo Ren is really Luke, or if you want to put it the other way, Luke is Kylo Ren pretending to be Kylo Ren and fulfilling his father's legacy. Once again, this kind of goes hand in hand with Luke now being evil on the dark side, because obviously he would be, as he's killing people and fighting Rey and Finn. So this would definitely be something that it just wouldn't make any sense. Why would Luke be on the dark side to begin with? It would undo everything he did. Saving his father would be in vain, and you know, carrying on Darth Vader's legacy would not be carrying on Anakin's legacy. Anakin was good, Darth Vader was bad, and Yeah, it just really wouldn't make any sense. So it's another one that I don't really believe, and it doesn't make sense anyway, because we've already seen Adam Driver as Kylo Ren without the mask. We've seen him in his Sith garbs, or whatever you want to call it. We've heard his voice, and it's clearly Adam Driver. So unless they're really doing a great job at tricking us, and they're going to be able to explain it logically in the movie, I don't see how that's really even possible. Number 4, another crazy one. Darth Vader is still alive. So there's a lot of people that think that the melted mask / helmet of Darth... Excuse me, burp out of nowhere. Mask and helmet of Darth Vader is actually not just a remnant of the great Lord of the Sith, but they also believe that Anakin is actually still alive, and either and he's still alive some way. Some people believe that Supreme Leader Snoke is going to actually be Anakin. I don't believe that, and like I said, it wouldn't make any sense for him to be alive either, because he clearly died on the second Death Star, and he was also put in he was also cremated, so it doesn't really make any sense. Number 5, Han and Leia are split. They are no longer a couple. They're no longer together. Now this one actually I could see definitely being plausible. You gotta think, last time we left our heroes in Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, was over 30 years ago, so in the last, I think, like 32 or so years, you know, the chances are they would have split and gone their separate ways. A lot of people feel that this is the case after the newest trailer, where you see Han and Leia embracing each other, but it doesn't look like a good embrace. It looks like they're both sad, like maybe they've witnessed a death, maybe they've witnessed an attack, something's happened. But also people say that it almost looks like, I don't know why people get so much out of this, but a lot of people say it almost looks like they're embracing each other as friends. I don't really get that. I just thought, oh wow, Han and Leia together, cool. But people do have a point in the fact that we don't really see them together much, other than that one little tiny scene from the third trailer. Because other than that, we've seen a lot more of Han, and he's always been off with Chewbacca, still doing adventures, while Leia looks to have, you know, we know that she's General Leia, so now she's kind of like a homebody, so to speak. She stays in one place, not a homebody, but you know what I mean. She stays in one place, does her role, and she's not out there with Han. So if they're together, they definitely have a long-distance relationship. Number 6 on the list, Chewbacca dies. So here's yet another death that is suspected on this this rumor mill. Chewbacca dying is another one. They say that if Han doesn't die, then definitely Chewbacca dying. Me personally, I really don't see Chewbacca dying. It's possible, sure, but it's just not one that I really think is going to happen. But maybe. I mean, I don't really have much to say about it. Number 7, the Millennium Falcon is no longer Han's. So this is also another one which is actually probably very plausible, and that is that the Millennium Falcon no longer belongs to Han and Chewie, and that a lot of people got this off of the second teaser when we first get our first look at Chewie and Han when they're on, obviously, the Millennium Falcon. As you can see the back, you know, you can see the ship in the background, the interior of the ship, which is clearly the Millennium Falcon from, you know, the original films, and he says, Chewie, we're home. And yeah, that would make about sense that this is their first time seeing their ship in maybe years, or being inside of it in a long time. So I actually do believe that one could be very plausible. Number 8, Supreme Leader Snoke is Darth Plagueis. I've covered this, I think, twice on my channel now. Once at least, most recently. It got a lot of views. I'm glad people were interested in it. This one is honestly one that I'm kind of 50-50 on. It is possible that Plagueis could be in the movie, because Darth Plagueis was so powerful, but at the same time, there are aspects of it that don't make any sense. Some people say he's going by Snoke as a cover name. He doesn't want people to know his true identity, so he just made up this new alias. But his real name is Darth Plagueis, and he's controlling Kylo Ren, General Hux, and Captain Phasma, and of course the New Order, or whatever their name is. So it's definitely something that's possible, but me, like I said, I'm kind of 50-50. A part of me thinks it is, but I mean, Andy Serkis recently said in an interview, like just a couple days ago, that it is a very original character that has never been in the movies, but they're old and battered and beaten down, and they know they're very well of the past, so it's possible. But I don't know, 50-50 on that one. Number 9, Rey and Finn are offspring of either the Skywalker or Solo clan. So there's a lot of rumors going around, especially with Rey, that they are related to some big bloodline. Finn, to me, would be a lot less lot less of it because he's African American, and Han and Leia are not. They're Caucasian. And same thing with Luke, unless Luke got with an African American woman, maybe. But I'm definitely thinking Rey is the daughter of one of the clans. A lot of people think she's Leia and Han's, but we know from this third trailer that she was left kind of abandoned on Jakku, and I don't really understand why Han and Leia would do that unless they hid her away. Maybe, I don't know, but it didn't do very much good. Finn, I don't know. So, but I do think that's very plausible. Number 10, General Hux is undercover and is actually Luke's son. Now, this is a very interesting one here, too. A lot of people believe that General Hux is, in fact, not even evil, but is actually the offspring of Luke Skywalker and is actually infiltrating the New Order undercover as a huge General Hux, and that he's actually a good person, but he's infiltrating, so kind of getting them, getting them the inside scoop, so he's undercover. I'm kind of 50-50 on this one too, because it is possible we have seen very, very little General Hux. Now, that doesn't mean anything. I mean, they may not want to show too much of all the characters, so they've pretty much just kind of given us Rey and Kylo Ren as our main two people that we see. But we haven't seen, like, anything on General Hux. I mean, Captain Phasma makes a little more sense. We already got confirmation she's not in the movie that much, so that makes sense. They don't want to give away too much of her few scenes that she has in the movie. General Hux, on the other hand, we don't really have any explanation of why we haven't seen anything really much on this character, so it leads a lot to people, including me, that maybe he is. And it would make sense. He is blonde, and he looks like he could be Luke's son. Okay, 2 more to go. Number 11, Rey and Kylo Ren are related. Now, this is a huge one, too, and a huge one that's very plausible. Now, what if Rey and Kylo Ren are actually brother and sister, and Rey's good / Jedi, and Kylo's bad, aka a Sith? So this is another big interesting one here, though, too, is now we're finding out that maybe, well, people are rumoring that maybe Rey and Kylo Ren are actually related, and that we're going to find out about their lineage between the two. Now, it could be, it could turn out to be real, it could turn out to be complete fabrication. We don't know, obviously, until a month from now. Personally, I think that there's probably a decent chance of this. Now, I wouldn't say I'm 50% sold on it, maybe a little less. But maybe, I mean, Kylo Ren came from somewhere, so we're going to find out where Kylo Ren came from. So maybe, that'd be really interesting. It would definitely bring a lot more meaning to Kylo Ren's anger, I guess. And number 12, the last one, Luke's lightsaber is the entire plot of the movie. Yes, this is a very long ongoing one, and this is probably one I'm pretty much 100% sold on, because it's pretty obvious that this movie is going to be about the lightsaber that Luke got from Obi-Wan Kenobi in Episode 4, A New Hope, which used to belong to Anakin when Anakin was a Jedi. And then, of course, he loses it with the battle against Darth Vader on Cloud City in Empire Strikes Back. It falls down the shaft, and supposedly it is collected by somebody and has been kept for the last 3 decades. Yes, I definitely believe this 100%. I'm sold on it. I'm completely on board with it. It sounds cool, and yeah, I think it's definitely possible. So, be interesting. Supposedly Kylo Ren wants to get his hands on it. It would make sense with his obsession with Darth Vader. It would make sense. That would definitely be one of the bigger things that Kylo Ren would definitely want, as he's definitely the #1 fanboy of Darth Vader. So that's my list, 12 of them, so I'm going to read them really quick so you don't forget them. And if I forgot any, please leave them in the comments below, and if I get enough, I will definitely make a part 2 to this. So we have Han Solo dies, Luke is now evil on the dark side, Luke is Kylo Ren, Darth Vader is still alive, Han and Leia are split, Chewbacca dies, the Millennium Falcon is no longer Han's, Supreme Leader Snoke is Darth Plagueis, Rey and Finn are offspring of either the Skywalker or Solo clan, General Hux is undercover and is actually Luke's son, Rey and Kylo Ren are related, Luke's lightsaber is the entire plot of the movie. So that is it for me with my list. I want to know what you guys think in the comments below. Out of these, the #1 for me would definitely be Luke's lightsaber being the entire plot of the movie. I definitely think that's going to be the most likely of things here, and I think the least likely out of all of these would probably be Darth Vader is still alive. I think that's really fishing. You guys are fishing for something, just trying to get something out of Vader, and you guys got to kind of accept that Vader's story has been told, and it's time to move on. It's time for new characters, and this is coming from a huge Darth Vader fan. He's my favorite. but it's time to let the character go. So anyway, this is Keith Carnes. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, if you did, I'm happy. Thanks to all my subscribers. Guys, take it easy. See you in the next one.